Give me one second. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. I believe we have many people from all over the world. I think today many people from Latin America also join. So, welcome, bienvenidos. Unfortunately, the webinar will be given in English, but we will think when we can give one in Spanish. Today we are going to learn about the role of international standards in fostering a circular economy. Allow me to thank the Basel Convention for providing us this opportunity and inviting us to giving this webinar. First of all, I would like to give you a brief introduction of the E-Waste Challenge MOOC. This E-Waste Challenge MOOC was developed together with the EIT Climate Kick, UN Environment, the Basel Convention, KU Leuven, and the World Health Organization, EIT Raw Materials, and the World Resources Forum. The focus on the priorities of this MOOC is the environmentally sound management of hazardous chemical waste, cleaner production processes to minimize use emission of hazardous waste, protection of human health, communities, and the environment from the impact of hazardous waste and climate change, and design circular economy mitigation and adaptation activities to lower the impact on climate change and natural resources. The MOOC is an open platform, and it's available on the web. You will receive an email after today or tomorrow with where you can access to the MOOC. It is divided in 5 short courses. One course is on e-waste global issue. The second course is on impact and solutions. The third on e-waste children's health. The fourth on reducing e-waste by design, standards, business, and policy. And the fifth on inclusive and sustainable e-waste recycling. Each course is about 4 or 6 hours of learning. So you can either do the whole MOOC or just do one course. It provides general information, but it also provides in-depth information for those who would like to learn more. And it is designed for academia, private sector, policymakers, researchers, etc. I will give you a brief overview of the course number 4, which is on reducing e-waste by design, standards, business, and policy. We have Mr. Malcolm Johnson, the Deputy Secretary General of the International Telecommunication Union, deliver a brief introduction on this MOOC, and he also convey his message to all of you to thank you for the interest on our work. The aim of this course is to inform and inspire people to create and implement solutions that reduce e-waste, designing sustainable products, services, and business models, putting international standards and policy into action. Solving this issue together, we have some international commitments such as the Sustainable Development Goals, which was adopted by the United Nations and all member states in September 2015. And some of the sustainable development goals that are involved are more related to circular economy. We can see that our goal 8 on decent work and economic growth, SDG 11 on smart sustainable cities, and SDG 12 on responsible consumption and production. For example, one of the target of goal of SDG 12 is aims to substantially reduce waste generation through prevention, reduction, repair, recycling, and reuse. Also, another instrument is the Connect 2030 agenda to globally implementing a circular economy and the reuse of electrical and electronic waste. It is a global initiative headed by the International Telecommunication Union that sets out the shared vision, goal, and targets for global telecommunication ICT development with the member states have committed to achieve by a certain time, especially with reference to the sustainability targets. Some of the goals are to increase the global e-waste recycling rates to 30% and raise the percentage of countries with an e-waste legislation to 50%. This will have the effect of fostering circularity in the economy by eliminating waste and the continual use of resources. There are also other initiatives, for example, the e-waste coalition, that is a coalition formed by different UN agencies, and also the United for Smart Sustainable City Initiative, which is led, coordinated by ITU, UNICE, and UN Habitat, and supported by 14 UN agencies. The objective of this initiative is to help cities to achieve SDG 11. Now allow me to provide you some brief information about our work. As you might be aware, the International Telecommunication Union is the specialized UN agencies on ICTs. We work in three different sectors: the radio communication sector, the development sector, and the standardization sector. Within the standardization sector, there is ITUT Study Group 5 on environment, climate change, and circular economy, which we develop standards on e-waste and circular economy. Additionally, as part of our work, we organize annual events, for example, the Green Standards Week, that join together policymakers, academia members, and citizens in order to raise awareness of e-waste management and also how to achieve a circular economy. And last year, for example, the Green Standards Week was held in Valencia, Spain. We also, in ITU, we also work on capacity building. All of our standards are available for free on the website. At the end, I will share you the link where all the standards on circular economy and e-waste can be accessed, and it will be also sent in the email that it is shared with you at the end of the presentation. Today's webinar, we will discuss about ITU standards on circular economy, and we have the great pleasure to have with us Dr. Andres André. He's an expert of LCA at Huawei Technologies based in Sweden. Dr. André specializes in the application of sustainability assessment methodologies to ICT solutions from cradle to grave. He has published numerous books, conference paper, and peer-reviewed journals on topics related to the application of LCA to ICT, and he is also the associate rapporteur of ITUT study group 5, question 7, which is the question that work on circular economy, including e-waste. So Anders, I give you the floor and thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks for this introduction, Reina and Dan. And yeah, we just go to the next slide and start off this presentation by introducing what is a circular economy. Yeah, this is not new to some of you, but for some of you it's a little bit newer, more news. Yeah, in the simplest possible explanation is that it is an economy or a world without waste. Just like nature, in nature there is no waste. All so-called waste products are used by, you can say, the next user, you can say. And as everyone understands, the linear economy which we have now, it's not, it's far from an exact copy of the natural system. Yeah, and we hope then that we can introduce some ideas, how we can introduce more of the circular economy. Yeah, we want to decouple the consumption of production from natural resource use. This is also the idea. There are finite stocks, and the economic model is not perfectly handling this. Yeah, the next slide shows some graphics about the differences between the left, the current situation, the linear economy, where we take, make, consume, and throw away. One number I saw last year is that 2 billion tons of waste is generated each year, and 99% of everything we buy is being sold is kind of waste after 6 months. So that everyone can relate to. So very thin circles of regeneration, you can say. In the circular economy, we want to have much thicker regeneration, recirculation of both non-renewable resources and renewable resources. So in the circular economy, we cannot have just 100% circularity. It has to be toxin-free and also bio-based. Or if we think of the natural world, the ecosystem, it is, it only has, you can say, natural products and no waste. But in the technosphere, we have a lot of unnatural material and synthetic compounds and substances. So I'm not saying that we shall only have bio-based, but could be synthetic natural materials, which are just like nature. But that's graphic. Oh, there are many challenges to achieving the circular economy. We are quite stuck in this Keynesian debt-based economy of creating a lot of money, which foster a very aggressive spending and of new products and so on. And that creates a lot of benefits, definitely. Capital, which you can green other things. But it also achieves these things that you have perceptions of green circular products as not being so fancy. And you have consumers' expectation for convenience. It's very, it's a fast achievement. You're not willing to pay a high premium for circular products. Still, the circular products, if you have this green, circular, toxin-free products, if you can combine with the new message that they are a so-called double benefit for the consumer, that could work in the current system. So we can revolutionize the system, but also work within the system. The consumer is always right, we can say, but you can also create policy if it can still work like that. But yeah, I think that the circular economy is also the sustainable economy. We have tend to separate the circular. You work on that, the circular stuff and waste management, and but then we have sustainability, and this is another issue. But now I'm beginning to think that circular rating and this sustainability rating, this is beginning to merge into one score, for example, for the consumer. So we'll not have, this product is marked as a circularity rating and that another label for sustainability. I think we will see one marking, and I will get back to this. You have some problem, lack of proper waste infrastructure, which is preventing this, but it's a small problem. It's an excuse. And lack of measurements and metrics. That can be better. It's more fundamental. Reina nicely mentioned the UN international engagement here to breach the circularity gap, and a very highly regarded initiative here of many from the European Union is this Circular Economy Action Plan, which is worthy of studying much more. It contains a lot of stuff, but you can read it. It wants to use the circularity concepts, very powerful concepts, as it intervene in the economy. A triple green bottom line of CO2 reduction, decrease the biodiversity loss. We have seen this very alarming report of rapid biodiversity of species loss. So it's tightly connected to the use of resources and pollution minimization, toxic-free waste management. So there you can see some key elements that there will be a lot of more measuring required from the companies and other actors to report progress. And therefore, it's a timely topic of today. The standards will be instrumental to achieve this, to respond to this action plan. Maybe I can say something that you have issues which are not captured in existing and ongoing standards. The biodiversity is not addressed. The quality of recycled content, rules for mandatory recycled contents, and rules for measuring this. But you is doing some of this, but also very many other standard organizations are addressing this together. ITU have published a whole bunch of impressive technical reports or supplements and also recommendation in this area. Here is a division of take-back system documents, and then you have framework guidelines, and those documents addressing the reduction of e-waste. I have been in these. I've only been involved in one supplement 5 there, so it's been going on for a while. This study group, and but I've been involved in the last 5 years in some of the other stuff I will talk about here. But you can find these, as I understand now, freely available for download. L1021 is a quite recent one, which is addressing a hot topic of extended producer responsibility. So there you have a link to the Circular Economy Action Plan from the European Commission also. Here are some other documents and work from our SG5 connected to the circular economy, of course, recycling related standards, and then you have the assessment of the impacts of ICT and the circular economy directly related to 100% is what we will go on discussing further. That it's a lot of things going on in this group and a lot of experts working. Yeah, I would say it's ongoing work also. I will mention two of them. There are several others. Yeah, you can see it's, as I said, freely available for download. L1020, L1022, and Supplement 28. Supplement 28 and the L20 are earlier than the other. The L1022 was quite recent, published. Yeah, the L1020, when I was not involved in that work, but I see the uptake of telco operators have been quite large. When I see this slide, it is advising companies how to implement a circular business model in a very concrete manner. For example, these strategies of reduce, extend work life, recycle content, reuse, and energy efficiency are going into some depth of this. So that is clear that ITU have played an important role, and a lot of people around the world are reading these documents carefully and try to copy them into their own business. So that is good work. So even though if I was not involved in this work at all, I am very impressed that it has been directly used by some companies. It's very good. Here, on the other hand, I was quite much involved. In the Supplement 28, it's an ICT infrastructure, goods introduction written together with ETSI as part of the collaboration with the Sense and LEC. So that's the background of that. And the L1022 is it's more broader. It's about all circular economy aspects and how they relate to their applicability to any ICT phenomena. You can say services, but also products, all products, also consumer products like laptops and smartphones. So they are a little bit different, but they, you can say 1022 is following on from the Supplement 28. But it was a lot of good discussions in these more qualitative and descriptive documents, but still you need that foundation. Here's one nice picture produced by one of the companies here in the L Supplement 28. Yeah, we had a lot of discussion about the life cycle itself, and then where do these different aspects and strategies, where do they fit in, so to say, and a lot of understanding about these circles, how wide they are, and so on. Repair, for example, is a very small circle of circulation, and that is good. So occurs in the use phase and so on. So now this picture is a little bit dated, perhaps because we have these Senelec standards which have been published now and define very exactly what is refurbishment and what is remanufacturing and so on. But I think we did a good job here, and we were a little bit ahead of our time. And that is the nature of the ITU in this field, I would say objectively, actually, because it should be read more, these documents, because they include a lot of good conclusion and examples also from many good experts. here's almost the same, you can say, but from supplement 28 again. Yeah, it's the life cycles and where do these phenomena occur in a more in another way to show it. The recycle is the worst, you can say, then from a sustainability or environmental impact avoidance point of view. And this is an ideal picture. You have so many different ways to do this. For every little product has maybe it's different, but yeah, it's we try to understand it in this way. There are many examples in the report. Yeah, some concrete example from this supplement 28 is that from the reality, from the real world, that it's not the circular economy is, people are elaborating with it and see. But here was a concrete example that you had return good in the past model before thinking of circularity. Return good and then disassembly into parts, subparts. Then each part tested on its own. Can this part be reused with some refurbishment or reused in the same product, or cycling, which is the last option. You could say landfill is not even mentionable, of course. That is waste. But then some circular economy thinking in the you can say in the linear economy, but still possible to do to make money from this business. Then is testing the whole good or the whole product, and then repair it directly if possible, and then reuse it. Then you have a higher reuse rate of this mass of the product, and also lower cost by this practice. So it was mentioned like this. And there are now this picture is like 3-4 years old. So I think I've seen myself many new examples which have been fostered, not maybe by this standard exactly, but there are things. This is the circular economy. Examples are happening now. It's not only theoretical. That has been the danger of this stuff, that we are doing so much theoretical standards. But people are thinking, and I mean, there are many examples that the waste is too cheap, to reuse, to let material goes to waste. That is why it's done. But there's still more you can do. Yeah, this one is just reflecting again life cycle stages and then sorting the different aspects and sub sections of the circular economy standards. Especially here, you can see it's very central leg standards mention this, but removability, design for removability in the use phase, that is not so much emphasized anymore. But the others are still there, still going on. So it aims to describe that, in the raw material acquisition phase, so design for recycled content is dependent on that, in that phase, and that design for durability, it affects the use stage impacts, and then also the cost in use stage. So I think we have to also focus on the cost savings, and I think that is what many examples show here, that they find cost savings by circular strategies. General insights from just these 2, 3, 4, 5 standards, it's that several useful aspects, parameters, indicators have been proposed. which the ICT goods can use. But you cannot have one aspect to say, for example, the recyclability. Just focus on the recyclability. Then you have a circular business model if it is 100% recyclable. Yeah. So that is also goes without saying, but for some products, it depends on the life cycle cost score and life cycle assessment scoring. Some aspects, for example, durability, is more important for a product which is environmental impact is determined by the manufacturing. Then you are wise to prolong the life of that product. But at the end of the day, it's up to the customer, at least for the business to consumer products. It will be up to the consumer to how long they can keep it, but they should be able to keep it as long as they want. Not as long as they want, but longer than now, perhaps. Yeah, this is really multi-criteria optimization, the circular economy. You have mass, environmental impacts, economic values, all of the aspects, life cycle stages. Yeah. So this we have many research focusing on that. And then as the final minutes here about the new stuff. What we have done so far is we have described generally IDs, very good, basis, fundament. But now we invite you into more product assessment. And this one is really interesting. The LCE2 is the working name. It's product circularity assessment. So it's like a 0 to 100% scoring circularity assessment of products. It consists of 3 so-called circular design guideline groups. And they have shifted from 9 to 6 to 5 to but now we have said these 3 are, let's keep it simple and let's keep it as close as possible to existing other standardization. So we agree on these 3 right now, and they in turn contain criteria for circular product design. So criteria within, and this one, product durability, for example, very important one. If you would do an LCA of a product, and it shows that 90% of the impact. Now, eco cost seems to be very popular now. Eco cost, 90% of the eco cost is in the manufacturing phase. Then you have better focus on, see which they are. I mean, robustness and software and data support, scratch resistance, component reliability, maintenance support. These kind of criteria. So, and then the idea is that you grade this qualitatively in a scale from 1 to 4. So it's no absolute values. Absolute values are not used directly in this method. But you will have the 1 score to score 1 is the best, and to score 4 is the worst. Yeah. And then it's combined with relevance scoring in a combinatoric exercise. So you have to read it. It will make it very easy to understand this standard. And there are many examples already in the standards that it works. It's just to agree on it, because there are so many, not many similar, but there are similar approaches and criteria. So we need to have internationally harmonized to get all the relevant stuff into this. And that is tricky. But it's very useful, I would say. It's an eco rating, but it's a circularity rating. Yeah. So it could be used and picked up, I think. And then, we have another one. It's a little bit broader, but it's quantitative trade-off calculation methods. We have many have thought about it. What is the balance point, break-even point for how long can I use this remanufactured product before it was not worth it anymore? Or when is it worthwhile to remanufacture and refurbish? Is this kind of product? So then we have calculation methods involving LCA as always. It's a must because you need to combine the circularity calculation with LCA always. So it's analytical approaches to show, what is the benefit of reused desktop, for example, or not. Yeah. And there we are inspired by other work, and we don't want to repeat or create new. We want to repeat others, but make it very understandable. So you can just plug in your own LCA values and you get scores. You can make this trade-off yourself. That's the idea of this. It's we see that it builds quite well on other work and so on. So that is now I'm finished with these slides, and I open to your questions.
Many thanks, Anders, for your presentation. Many thanks to Reina as well. As you said, the session of questions and comments is open. So if you wish to take the floor, please click on the raise hand icon, which is at the right of your name. If you hover with your pointer, the point of your mouse, you will see it appear. And I will give you the floor. For those of you having issues with the microphone, you can send your questions via the chat, but we'd rather have you speak up and present yourself when you take the floor. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. My name is Regina Paulus, and I'm a lawyer in the U.S., and I was wondering if Anders or anybody else on the team that's presented so far could talk about what protections are in place for the people who are actually dismantling e-waste at this time. Because there are reports that it's very unhealthy to do so. Some of the toxic materials that are being used to put the materials together could lead to lead poisoning, things like that. Do the global goals or does any of your work touch upon those kinds of issues?
Yeah, definitely. The toxin-free, it's a pillar to make this circular economy happen. It's been much too much talk about just recycling and reuse old, cadmium cables and whatever as long as possible. That is, you need to. So yeah, this is a concrete question that we have all these problems in the third world and exports and so on, and that is the BRS. The goal of them to prevent this. But these standards, especially the LCE2. And also the other, product passports and the absolute latest stuff now. They, and all about this, the substances of concern in products, these databases their aim is to detoxify. It doesn't happen overnight. But we have this, in the material recycling guideline there are questions, the criteria. If you use certain substances or not, so it is addressed in the material section. That's all I can say. It's not the only thing we think about, but the toxic free is very important for circularity. Yeah.
Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Guillermo Pereira. I have 25 years experience in Costa Rica with Fortec in the recycling operations and activities and the circular economy, the new concept that we are implementing here. I would like to comment that technologies for complex separation are now global, and it means that we have the opportunity and the ability to bring these technologies to almost every region in the world. So I believe that to prevent toxicity in undeveloped countries to become a risk and a liability, we should work towards building this database so that the OEMs can match good companies to work with in these efforts. My question is why OEMs have different approaches for different countries. OEMs normally work on a regional basis based, let's say, in the policy of the different governments across the countries. I would say that OEMs should find a way to implement an equal approach for all countries where they sell products. I think the challenge is to put together the public and the private sectors and foster this initiative about officializing the right technologies and the right methods and finding the right partners in the private industries that can work towards the circular economy along with the governments.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for this nice reflection. I mean, I think many companies have this policy that we use the most stringent, the strictest requirement for collection and recycling and environmental laws, including cycling. We use that all over the globe. I don't know if it's so, but otherwise it's just regulation. If you comply with the legislation in that country, you have kind of that is also correct, you know. But then you can be proactive or reactive. So it's other topics. But and it's business to consumer product. If you sell smartphones, we can just encourage to collection, you know, to proper collection, you know, and not other types of waste management. So it's a lot of encouraging, but maybe we can foresee that it needs to be more. The collection rate has always been it's a problem for electronics. We see that in every presentation. So we have to start with collecting more of it, and then of course do the proper. But it's good that you say that you have a global playing field here now. Of the latest recycling technology is available pretty much all over. You know, and that was I didn't know that. But if it's like that, it's encouraging, you know. But it's about we live in this. We have to have the incentive. You have to create incentives for companies to recover their waste, you know, which they at least the waste they own, you know, themselves. So that is others have to say how can this be done? You know, create incentive, you know, for the waste collection.
Thank you, Anders. We have 3 persons asking for the floor and a few questions coming in through the chat. Reina, you want to take the floor?
No, I just wanted to tell you just say what I want, that there are some questions in the chat.
Yes, there is a few questions in the chat, but before Aisha Lotte has asked for the floor for a while, and Willie Cade and Gerardo Canavati. So could we go through this in this order and then take the questions coming up in the chat?
Hi, thank you. Yes, I'm Aisha Lotte. I'm from the University of Cape Town doing some research on e-waste recycling in South Africa in particular. And I was wondering what legal jurisdictions have exemplary circular economy legislation? Just some examples would be very helpful. Thanks.
I think the Nordic countries have come far away here, with maybe 80-90% collection rate of e-waste in, for example, Sweden. So that in that regard, it's very high collection rate of electronics, at least. So I think this is a system we have with different companies pay to another collection company and then they take care of this, and a lot of companies also involved in this, in the recycling. Yeah. But there could be others too. Germany also, I think, these kind of countries.
Thank you, Anders. Willie Cade, please.
This is Willie Cade in the United States. I have a question about the issue of reuse and whether your standards include the concepts of right to repair, i.e. access to parts, tools, and information to repair devices. Thank you.
Yeah, I think kind of. Now I don't really remember, but the second there, ability to repair, reuse, and upgrade, it have some of those aspects. But the right, I don't think we go into this issue so specifically. That do you offer, to which degree do you offer right to repair? It's I'm not sure now that we have so specifically said that, yeah, right to repair. No, I can try to check it while I think, at the same time. I look at the presentation.
Yes, I'm working on standards in the U.S. For electronics, and one of the issues that's happening in a broad manner in the United States is that software is locking out the ability to reuse devices. And I'm wondering if your standards address that issue, and if so, how? And maybe we need to have correspondence over email.
Yeah, we need to, but we can. So the EPET, we are just about to look very closely at the EPET latest documents in this regard, and then maybe if they have some thing about this. We have. I mean, you are more than welcome to see exactly this standard. I guess so. And there are a lot of criteria in this to RRU and the product durability, which you have to answer. Spare parts availability, and disassembly information, software and data support. So you have this software and data support that you have to provide this. If you score the best in that, you don't have this problem of which you're talking about, that you have to scrap. This is a very important issue. I mean that you shall not have to scrap your phone, for example, just because prematurely. This we don't mention it exactly, but we will have to discuss over email. Definitely.
And I can add one point. Then I am Paolo.
Paolo, okay, please go ahead, and then Gerardo.
Okay, just to add, okay, I'm Paolo Gemma. I am the chairman of Working Party 2 Study Group 5, where all of this work is developed. I want just to add a point. We don't need to confuse what is a standard, what we can put as technical answer, technical requirement, and so on, with rule or regulation. The direct to repair is part of regulation. So as ITU, as we made for our topic like e-waste, we can give a guideline to country on how to implement regulation on different aspects like e-waste, collection, maybe also this part of repair. But we cannot impose a regulation to country. We can just help country to implement. So we can write standard on how to repair, which are the requirements to make sure that the equipment can be repaired, like the availability of firmware and so on. That is something that we put in some of our standards, like the standard for mobile phone assessment, but not to put a regulation that obliges manufacturer or importer or so on to make available all of that. Just we need to distinguish between the two topics. Sorry, can you continue, please, Dan?
Thank you very much, Paolo. Gerardo, you want to pose your question?
Oh, yes. Thank you for giving me the floor. I agree totally with Billy Case, what he says, because there is a huge problem in the remanufacture or the reuse of computers, and we need software compatible. I've been using Linux and some light software that are diminishing the standards of Microsoft Windows to adapt to the elder computers and use it in many ways as commuters, as different tasks. I work a lot with the computers of the PLC and CNC that operates all line processes in the industry. And I've been since 25 years state a huge provider to solutions, because it's not the only issue, the recycle. The reuse is the most important thing in this issue. And what matters more for me is that we have a lot of problems, because the task of recycling formally in the US is a 40 or 50%. What happened with the other 50%? And in the countries as Mexico, where I am, in Mexico, the issue is 20% recycling. What happens with the informal sector in the 80% not recycled properly? That's an issue, and we must do something about it. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, but where to start? Consumer behavior. You know, it's a psychological issue. You know, to what they do is what they do. So, but the standard, the LC2 contains this issue of software and how long, you know, you should make it available and so on. So I think it covers it as a standard in the way a standard should cover it, you know. And we will have to again wait and see which impact this standard will have on the waste flows and so on. Maybe a small part to play, at least.
Thank you, Anders. As Reina was saying, we have quite a few questions in the chat. Would you like to take them on, Reina? Put them out, or should I read some?
I can read them if you prefer. It's okay.
Please go ahead then.
Okay, so there was we answered the question. It was answered the question from Ayosha, and then there is another question saying, what development have ICT equipment manufacturers made to make the components easier to recycle?
Okay, so what have manufacturers done? Yeah, it's a lot. You mean about easier disassembly. This is and this is definitely addressed by LCE2. The example of a very bad disassemblyability, and a very good one. Yeah. So and already we see cases, claims that some manufacturers say we have only this class of fasteners, you know, that are removable, and that is what the recycler, I guess, want. You know, the quick time is money, even in robot world. So yeah, but it's also ideal that some products cannot be easily disassembled from for security reason or other reliability reason. So coffee machine is not the same as a outside very complex switch, for example. But anyway, everyone do what they can, and this will make it better. Next, Reina.
Thank
do you have
you.
anything
Next
more?
question. Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes,
Next.
I do. What are the opportunities and challenges of circular economy for developing countries, particularly Africa?
Maybe that they know more about this, but its infrastructure is maybe a lack of infrastructure is one, which is different to, for example, Sweden, which have a lot of e-waste infrastructure and also smelting operation. But there are. We in the ITU, it's a lot of ongoing work also, which I have not mentioned, which discuss these issues in the development. I think our colleagues from Africa are much better equipped to answer this question.
Yeah. Yes, just to complement what Anders said, okay, sure will be a challenges about the infrastructure to collect e-waste. Sure will be also a good opportunity if we go on dismantled used equipment to create a job on the right collection of e-waste, on the recycling, and so on. This is a good opportunity to create a job for developing countries, and also to reduce the problem that they have of not manage e-waste, because can create a lot of issue from health of people, of pollution, and so on.
Anything else right now?
Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Anders. Yes, one of the principles of the circular economy is to extend the life of the products in the design. But this is against the company's interest. Which is the best way to introduce the companies in the circular economy? Should be by law, for example?
Yeah, but the law is quite strict. I think here we have this, the consumer, what they are attracted to and not. They want the latest functionality, not all of them. And many maybe do not think, do I really need this? Will I use 100% of these functionalities of this product? Yeah, but if we can follow the regulation, and then, yeah, you have to find this, the double benefit, the blue efficiency of the ICT good, if everyone understood that, I think you did. Yeah, it's the double benefit, and I don't want to blame the customer, because the customer is always right, but this standard, I mean, if every product score 100%, and still the customer in this circularity scoring, and still the consumer do not buy that product, they buy another product which have 0, then what can you do? So it's a big issue here. Well, I think I have written a lot about this also, that due to the competition between the manufacturers in the green area, there have been greener and greener actual products. Yeah. So it's like that also. So, anything more?
Yes, we have another question. How does the ITU help countries develop appropriate legislation?
That is not my Okay. Anders, I can answer a little. Okay, as legislation, as ITU is a part of the webinary that we made last week, if I remember well, or 2 weeks ago, and last week. Okay, sorry, I was a little lost after this long period of time. We wrote some standard
on how to implement e-waste regulation, because it's one of the first topics on circular economy, if you want. And we work on our recommendation of a framework on e-waste regulation, one on extended producer responsibility, on IPR, extended producer responsibility, one on how to qualify, certify recycling company, and the last is on how to reduce the waste in general in a country. That are example and guideline on how to implement legislation and regulation in countries. Okay, and we have also water standard for the informal sector, how to involve the informal sector on this topic. All of these are containing also example of the legislation, not only European legislation, also some other countries, also some developing country legislation, and are just an help that we give to the countries to implement the internal regulation on this, with the idea to have a regulation that is not identical, but not very, very different from one country to another, because different will be a very complicated life for in our world that is becoming a little more connected if there is no virus inside. Okay, and I think this is what we can do. As ITU, not ITUT, ITUD is correct, Reina. The BDT can help also on direct project on how to implement all this rule inside a country.
Yes, that's correct, Paolo. At the beginning, there are sectors of ITU and development sector with the countries in order to help with the development of policies. They have different projects and there are different regional offices that can help countries. We go to the next question. Durability of the products, new versions coming to the market at a rapid rate, make the e-waste a challenge? Someone from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not collected, or at least it is hoarded at home, but in the least, or I mean, it should be collected. So you have to have more incentives to collect, maybe campaigns and whatnot. But then you have to have the infrastructure. So, yeah, it's this big question again about the durability and functions and needs, you know. But it's the consumer have to. Yeah, I mean, it's a complex issue. What drives the consumption? So we do not look at these big why questions. This is so big. So we are just we have a task of doing a standard, but we can speculate about that.
Okay, one more question, maybe two more. I don't know how many we have because I cannot see all the chat, but another one that was responded by Paolo. Are the ITU standards and guidelines limited to the telecommunication equipment only? And Paolo said no, ITU is working on all ICT equipment. Then we have another question. How can non-ITU government agencies and e-waste management organizations benefit from the activities of the ITU, especially the guidelines and standards?
This is for you.
Yes, this is for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a very big question. I mean, we cannot really know how the standards will be used and by whom, but they contain basis for evaluation assessment method. So I know that some companies like this, for example, the second-hand use companies and so on, they think this work is interesting. Product assessment is always valuable if it's fairly done.
Okay, then we have, good afternoon, I'm Kawana from Zambia, and my question is as follows. Are there any examples of developing countries, particularly in Africa, that have been able to implement effective e-waste management framework that address the import of e-waste from developing countries and the inability to enforce EPR, as most producers are outside the continent?
I cannot answer this question.
I don't have.
I mean, it was some answer in the chat that someone have knew some example, of this.
Well then, waiting here to see if we are going to have reactions from the floor. I can say that there is a person, Malte Becker, asking for the floor, and then we still have a few questions in the chat which have been posed and not taken up yet. So if we have time, we can go through them. Malte Becker, are you asking for the floor? Your hand is raised. No, the person has left now. Okay, but then there are other questions from Ibukun asking, are there standards for extending the lifespan of products, and are there guidelines for working with the informal recycling sector?
Yes, they are. There is a standard that I will put the link to the standards. There is a standard on e-waste recycler that also cover the informal sector, and I will put the link so they can access it.
And then we have a question from Midu that reads, are there examples of good practices in terms of government incentives for companies active in the circular economy?
Yeah, I mean, there are, taxes and so on, landfill tax, incineration tax. If they're good or not, I don't say, but they are coming more and more. And as I said, some companies inspired by earlier standards. They are more like the rumored incentives from EU and others are driving proactive action or before they have even started. So I think it is the EU regulations also which have driven a lot. We directive, for example. So there are, you mean here maybe good practices that in companies driven by government, maybe not good governmental initiatives, for example. In a short answer, yes.
Thank you, Anders. I can see that Nina has sent the information through the chat on the standards. Okay. Reina?
Yes, I have shared. I was just going to say that there was a chat about have you considered participate on working group on ISO TC 323, mostly in working group 2 and 4 related to build a working draft of supply chain and value chain and study cases? as ITU, we work, well, we collaborate with ISO and IEC, and we work with the liaison statement in order to inform them about the work that we do, and also to we keep in good communication to know also what they do in order to avoid overlaps. And sometimes there is the possibility that we develop a standard together.
Thank you very much, Reina. Just before, I see that first Diana Yomi Banjo has answered saying he would like to respond to the question from the lady from Zambia. But just before giving you the floor, Yomi, I just want to inform you that I've uploaded the presentation from Reina and Anders on the platform. You can see a pop-up window there. You need to select the screen and click on download to be able to download the PDF file of the presentation straight away. I will send it in a follow-up email. Yomi, do you want to take the floor?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yomi. I'm from UNIDO, and I'm based at the regional office in Abuja. So just to give a quick response to the lady from Zambia on if there are if any African country has got guidelines and is implementing the EPR system. So yes, Nigeria and Ghana is taking a sort of leadership roles on this. For example, Nigeria has come up with an EPR system for some of the sectors, like the electronic sector, the food and beverage sector, and there are business plans that have been developed on this. This EPR system is gradually taking shape, but at least there's something going on, and the OEMs are already being coordinated. We will see how it goes with time, but some progress has been recorded so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yomi. So this was the last question we had for this session. We've passed the allocated time for the meeting, so we're going to close it now. I'd like to thank again. Thank again. Oh, pardon me. Thank again Anders and Reina for their presentation and the time they took on these webinars. And thank you all present today for your participation. I will send a follow-up email with the links to the previous webinars as well as this one, and the presentation that was given today will be included in that email. So thank you very much to all, and I hope we will see you in future sessions. Bye-bye.
Dan,
yes.
if I may just a few
Anders,
words.
Yes, please, Anders and Reina, please take the floor. Please feel free.
Okay, just very quick. It will take more. Thank you all for joining us today. I think we have over 160 participants, so thank you very much. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any specific question on the standards. You can contact us to the email address that is in the screen, tsbsg5@itu.int. The work of the study groups is mainly for members. However, we have other platforms. For example, we have the United for Smart Sustainable City initiative, which is an open platform, and you can join the work and also learn from other experts. And there is a new focus group on environmental efficiency for artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies. So if you would like to learn a little bit more, you can write to us, and we can tell you how to join these two initiatives, which are open platforms. Thank you. And thank you, Anders, for your time and your great presentation.
Yeah, thank you, you two, for inviting me to do it. It's really very interesting to work on this topic.
Thank you again. Thank you both. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, everyone. Have a nice day and evening. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye, and have a nice day from Mexico.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Dan. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Reina.
We keep in touch.
Certainly we will. We might bump into each other when we're allowed to go out.
Yes. Okay, then you
I
will send us.
I will send the follow-up email. I will send you and Anders the information on the participation.
Okay.
Okay. And that's it. I think I will send the follow-up email to both sessions as soon as I get the list of participants.
No worries. Thank you very much. Then we need to check if there is the possibility to do another webinar, maybe.
Definitely. We can talk about this. I think it could be, if you're willing to. I think there's a lot of interest there.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, Reina.
Watch it. Yeah.
Hello, Dadan. It was nice to see you online also. Well, nice to have you participate. You can open your mic if you wish to. But,
so it's mute or unmute now?
You're unmuted.
Oh.
I can hear you. How are you? Dadan, you've muted your mic again.
Okay. So now it's unmute.
Now I can hear you again. Yes. How are you?
Good. Yeah. I'm good. How about you?
I'm well. We had a very, very busy day meetings-wise. It was quite a challenge. It was very positive.
So you still work from home?
We're still at home. It's been 5 weeks.
And, yeah. So do I. Actually, I'm now also busy preparing proposal for special program SAICM for Indonesia.
Yeah.
But I remember that today is my last chance to join this session of the webinar. because
When,
the other day I forgot.
but this session today was much it was more dynamic.
Yes, that's right.
So
And
it's I think you did well to come today.
yeah, right, yeah. And coincidentally, I also need to know the terminology of circular economy, which actually it's something that we usually do, but we don't know it's wrapped and labeled circular economy.
But it is a fascinating subject.
Yeah, that's right.
So
But
so
actually,
there's so much to be thought of,
yeah,
and so much to be invented.
right. The concept is not new, but the name or the packaging is new for me.
Okay.
Not really new. I heard about it, circular economy, but I didn't bother about it.
It's quite a subject. It's
Yeah, that's right.
it makes so
But
much
it's good,
sense.
good,
Definitely.
good presentation because based on the charts, I still have impression that many people still don't understand deeply about e-waste management or ICT management.
Well, I think it's probably I'd say it's an issue that all of us have at different levels for different subjects. So
Yeah, right.
it's good. I think it's good to have presentations and open floors like today for questions to be shared. You've got experts, you've got people who know less, and it's good to put these people together. Yes.
So, how is life in Geneva nowadays?
Well, life is good. The spring is coming. It's a beautiful season.
Yeah,
Lots of birds.
nice spring.
Yeah, it's very nice, but it's a bit strange also. Like most places around the world, streets
Yeah.
are empty.
So the street is still busy or not?
No, not no.
No, eh?
It's getting a bit busier now, and the confinement is going to be slowly lifted. But there are a lot of questions on how to do it, so as not to fall back into the direct.
But there is no significant number of cases of COVID-19 in Switzerland.
In Switzerland? No, not in Switzerland. Then in some districts like Geneva, a lot of them, a lot of district of French speaking Switzerland is touched by COVID more than the rest of the country. But in some sense, we'd be very lucky to have our neighbors get touched before, unfortunately for them. But it gives time for people here to organize their own as well already. So
okay then.
What comes out. It's very nice to hear you, and I hope we talk with soon.
Yeah, I have an obligation to represent BCRC Southeast Asia to attend this webinar.
That's good.
That's why, even this is almost midnight, I try to follow it.
No, it is quite late. So it would have been better for you to come on Tuesday at the one at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. I should join the Tuesday one, but unfortunately,
but I think content-wise, I think you did good to come today because
yeah, but the time is the timing was not good for me on Tuesday.
Time for a tea now and after that.
Yeah, actually tonight is not good also, but it's better.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll let you go, and we will speak soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, then.
Bye-bye, Dadan. It was
Happy.
nice
Yeah.
to hear from you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye.
There's a message from Upcyclers. I'm sorry, I can't see your name. I don't know who you are. Who's on your mic?
Yes, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. The session is over. It finished about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I received an email.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of background noise. I can't understand the word.
Yeah. Okay. Let me type.
I am going to send a follow-up email maybe tomorrow morning. I'll send a follow-up email to this webinar, and I will send you the different information and presentation. Okay? Super. With this, I'm going to close the session now. So to all of you, bye-bye again, and farewell.